Hello, everybody. My name is Ian Hensley, and for my multimodal presentation, I'm going to be talking about the complex problem of addiction. So, first things first, I'll give a little introduction to addiction. What is addiction? Obviously, addiction is the idea of not having control over taking, doing, or using something to the point of where it could be harmful to you. And there's really different types of addictions, as I have listed here. There's gambling, there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's smoking, there's work, internet shopping, sex, etc. You can get addicted to really anything. Some things really, no addiction is good. Some things are better than others, though. Getting addicted to something that can benefit you is not a bad thing at all. Getting addicted to something that will harm you and is not good for you is obviously not what you want. And then what I have here is a piece from one of the citations I use. Sorry, which states that almost 21 million Americans have at least one addiction, yet only 10% of them receive treatment, which is a crazy number. Almost 20 or about 25% of people who use illicit drugs develop an addiction. 24% of people who with a drug disorder have an opioid use disorder. In 2020, the federal budget approved for drug control was nearly $35 billion dollars. About 9.5 million Americans who have a SUD also have a mental illness, and more than 70% of people who tried an illegal drug before the age of 13 have an addiction to alcohol or drugs. And Americans between the ages of 18 to 25 are most likely to use addictive drugs. Next, we have the causes of addictions. Again, there's many different causes of addictions, many things that people get addicted to, many reasons people get addicted. There's the high, the feeling it gives you, the reason people keep coming back to it, the escape from their problems. There's the physical and the mental aspect. It makes you feel good, gets rid of that stress or whatever you've had building on your shoulders or whatever issues you have. Then there's the urge to do it again. Obviously, you do it once, you know how it feels, you like it, you're going to get the urge to do it again. There's peer pressure, hanging out with your friends, your buddies are doing it, like everybody you know does it. It's going to be hard to say no and get out of that. And not because then it's weird and you're not going to want to be there. And then there's the situations. Sometimes you get put in tough situations. Again, this could be friends. If friends are doing it and you're there, it's sometimes it's hard to say no. It's not hard, but it's situations. And then drug abuse, demographics, another one of my citations. Some statistics shows that persons previously abusing drugs and recently released from prison are at their tolerance to the drug has dropped while being incarcerated. Club drugs such as ecstasy, meth, cocaine, ketamine, LSD, all etc., are settings by young people. And then among lower income users, the most commonly used drugs are inhalants, paint, correction fluid, and glue, which is just awful. And it's 6.3 million LGBT plus adults had a substance or mental abuse disorder. 7% of LGBT plus adults struggled with illegal drugs. 2% adults struggled with alcohol abuse. 8% struggled with both illegal drugs and alcohol, while 3% indicated a serious mental illness. Next, we have the different effects of addiction. Obviously, there's no good effects of a bad and harmful addiction. And there's also many different ways that an addiction can affect you. There's relationships, work, psychological and physical effects, and mental health. There's many ways an addiction can affect you. It can mess with your headspace. It can make you not as proficient, not as efficient out in the real world. Makes it tough to get things done. It can make you lash out and be harmful towards people. It can make your emotions go all over the place. It's hard to control. It is. And it can really affect you and affect the things that are important in you. It can push people away to you. It can make you lose love in your life. It could do a lot. It could do physical harm to you. It could have effects on your bodies, your lungs, your heart, your hair, even. It could do anything to you, really. There's many different effects of addiction. Not a lot of them good from bad and harmful addictions. And there's probably some that us as humans probably haven't even discovered yet. So, really, there's no good effects and no good aftermaths. How to approach addiction. The important thing to remember is that obviously addiction is always treatable, no matter the situation, no matter how far, no matter how deep, no matter what you did. It's always treatable. You can always talk to someone, you can always attend meetings, and the important thing is to take baby steps. Nobody gets better on day one, and most people aren't better on day two. It takes a long time. It might take a year, it might take years. It's different for everybody, and everybody's different, has their own life and their own story. And this is why it's always treatable. You just talk to someone, you figure it out, and you just build through. You build baby steps and you build back up. And that's all you can do. Next, we're going to be talking about preventing addiction. Preventing addiction isn't easy. It's something that happens in life as humans. It's not an easy thing, but there's ways to prevent it. And that one is honesty. It always helps being honest. Whether it's you or somebody else, being honest is one of the it's one of the best things you can do as a human. It's one of the best feelings. Being honest is huge for humans. Listening to people when they're struggling is huge. Talking and being able to listen to somebody who needs it and could use the help is one of the biggest things in life. And sometimes that's all people need, really. It's just an ear to listen. And it does help. Next, we have confidence and values. These help. You have to have self confidence. I know it's hard, but you have to have self confidence. It helps a lot in preventing addiction and helping you remember who you are and the values you have and what you hold yourself to. Again, be a good example, help others. These are more things that help prevent addiction. It always makes others inspired to see you doing good, and it always helps others see you doing good. It makes them want to be like that, and it does. It does. And then another citation I have say studies indicate that substance use disorders and other drug related harms are more likely to occur when a person has experienced risk factors such as a family history of substance use disorders, personal trauma, or access to drugs. Protective factors such as healthy family and peer relationships and financial stability may lessen a person's risk of developing substance use disorders. Again, just like on the preventing addiction topic. Next, we have moving forward from addiction. Again, the main thing to remember is it is tough. It's never easy, but it's always doable. And there's some things you could try. One is to set daily goals for yourself, set a milestone for you to reach. It always helps. Hitting your goals feels amazing, and even if you don't hit them, you don't beat yourself up or over them. You tell yourself you'll get them the next time, and you work. You work hard, and one time you'll eventually accomplish that goal, and it feels amazing. Prioritize time to feel. It's always important to feel how you feel, know how you feel, talk to yourself maybe a little, meditate, whatever you need to do. It's important to know how you feel and take care of yourself. And it's okay to seek help if you need it. People think they're weak for seeking help and people don't want to do it because they don't want to talk to people. It makes a big difference. It does. You should always seek help and you shouldn't feel ashamed about anything. You're you and everybody has their own story. It's not weak to seek help. It's weak to think it's weak to seek help, honestly. Next, we have the current challenges involving addiction. There's always going to be challenges involving addiction. One is coping. It's hard knowing somebody you love is addicted, or knowing somebody you once cared about is addicted to something. It sucks being the one addicted to something and having to watch people cope with it and know you're making people upset and not know how to help. It does. It sucks. It's hard changing your lifestyle, going from addiction to something new, trying to be better, trying to better yourself, get in a better situation. It's like a whole relationships. This plays into that. The next one. If your friends all enjoy doing the thing that you were addicted to and they're going to continue doing it, it's hard to get out of that lifestyle and maybe find new situations where you feel more comfortable and where you can be yourself. There's boredom. People run out of things to do, but you can always find things to do. But people get bored and their mind starts racing. It's tough, and that leads to this relapse. And you don't want that because I mean that'll take you back to square one, which is again okay that happens, but it's important to again find purpose. This last part plays into that. These little things help. You just need little by little, like I said earlier, baby steps. You build your way up, and it gets easier over time. It's never perfect. Life's never perfect, but it gets easier. Possible solutions for this, obviously, prevention and education. Educate somebody who needs educated on it and make sure you do your best to prevent it. We need to become more publicly aware of this and target more at risk people. As I saw earlier, it more genetically. People who have it in their family are more tended to do it. And I mean, if that's that, why would you not help prevent them from a younger age and educate them and help? That's all we can do is help. And then the conclusion. Again, addiction is always tough. It's always going to be tough, but there's always a solution. And just know you're never alone, and it's okay to ask for help. Obviously, it's tough. It's tough seeing somebody with it, it's tough being the one with it. But there's always an answer. You can always ask for help, and it always truly does help. And that's my presentation. Thank you.